Welcome to our channel. Today, we embark on a journey through one of the most revered scriptures in the world, the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita, often referred to simply as the Gita, is a 700-verse Hindu scripture that is part of the ancient Indian epic, the Mahabharata. It consists of a conversation between Prince Arjuna and the deity Krishna, who serves as his charioteer. Set on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Gita addresses profound spiritual and philosophical questions posed by Arjuna as he faces moral dilemmas about fighting in the war. Throughout its chapters, Krishna imparts timeless wisdom on topics such as duty, dharma, righteousness, devotion, and the nature of existence itself. Its teachings transcend time and remain relevant to people of all backgrounds, seeking guidance in their spiritual journey. In this video series, we will delve deeper into these teachings, exploring their meanings, relevance in today's world, and practical applications in daily life. This video is for Chapter 1, which named as Lamenting the Consequence of War.
ततः शङ्काश्च भैर्यश्च पणवानकगोमुखाः सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त सशब्दस्तु मुलोऽभवत्.
Thereafter, conches, kettledrums, bugles, trumpets, and horns suddenly blared forth, and their combined sound was overwhelming. On hearing Bhishma's call for battle, everyone in the Kaurava army also started playing various instruments eagerly, creating tumultuous sound. Shak means conches, pav are drums, anak kettledrums, brea bugles, and gomuk are blowing horns. All these instruments playing together created a loud pandemonium.
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यो शङ्खो प्रदद्मतुः.
Translation. Then, from amidst the Pandava army, seated in a glorious chariot drawn by white horses, Madhav and Arjun blew their divine conch shells. Commentary. The uproar of the Kaurava army had started to wane. Then from the Pandava side, seated on a magnificent chariot, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and Arjun both blew their conch shells intrepidly, which ignited the enthusiasm of the Pandava army as well. Here, Sanjay has addressed Lord Sri Krishna as Madhav. It is a combination of two words, Ma, which refers to goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity, and Dav is used for husband. Goddess Lakshmi is Lord Vishnu's wife, who is one of the many forms of Sri Krishna. This verse implies that the goddess of prosperity was with the Pandavas, and by her grace, they would be triumphant in this war and reclaim their kingdom soon. The sons of King Pandu are called Pandavas, and it may be used for any of the 5 brothers. In this verse, the Pandava being referred to as Arjun, the third among the 5. He was a mighty warrior and a superior archer. His magnificent chariot was a gift from Agni, the celestial god of fire.
पाञ्चजन्यं ऋषिकेशो देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः पौण्ड्रं दद्मो महाशङ्खं भीमकर्मावृकोदरः.
Translation. Rishikesh blew his conch shell, called Panchajanya, and Arjun blew the Devdutta. Bhim, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his mighty conch, called Pondra. Commentary. In this verse, Sri Krishna is addressed as Rishikesh, which means the Lord of the mind and senses. Sri Krishna is the sovereign master of everybody's minds and senses. Throughout his wonderful pastimes, he displayed complete control over his mind and senses.
अनन्तविजयं राजा कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलः सह देवश्च सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ काश्यश्च परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः दृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकिश्चापराजितः द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशः पृथिवीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहुः शङ्खान् दद्मो पृथक् पृथक्.
Translation: King Yudhishthir blew the Ananta Vijay, while Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosh and Manipushpak. The excellent archer and king of Kashi, the great warrior Shikhandi, Dhrishtadyumna, Virat, and the invincible Satyaki, Drupad, the 5 sons of Draupadi, and the mighty armed Abhimanyu, son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells, O ruler of the earth. Commentary: Yudhishthira, the eldest Pandav, is being addressed here as king. He always displayed royal grace and nobility, whether living in a palace or in a forest when in exile. He also got this title by performing the Jasya Yajana, a royal sacrifice, which earned him tributes from all the other kings of the world. In this verse, Sanjay also called Dhritarashtra the ruler of the earth. The real reason for this appellation was to remind him of his duties as the ruler of the country. With so many kings and princes participating from both sides in this war, it was as if the entire earth was split into 2 parties. It was definite that this mammoth war would cause irreversible destruction. The only person who could stop the war at this juncture was Dhritarashtra, and Sanjay wanted to know if he was willing to do that.
सघोषोदार्तराष्ट्राणाम् हृदयानि व्यधारयते नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव तुमुलोऽभ्यनुनादयन्.
Translation: The terrific sound thundered across the sky and the earth, and shattered the hearts of your sons, O Dhritarashtra. Commentary: Sanjay conveyed to Dhritarashtra that the tremendous sound of the various conch shells from the Pandav army was shattering the hearts of his sons. Whereas, he did not mention any such reaction from the Pandavas when the Kauravas were creating a commotion. The Kauravas were fearful, as their conscience pricked them for their crimes and misdeeds. They were relying solely on their physical strength to fight the war. However, the Pandavas were confident and felt protected, as the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna was by their side. Their victory was definite.
अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते.
Translation: At that time, the son of Pandu, Arjun, who had the insignia of Hanuman on the flag of his chariot, took up his bow. Seeing your sons arrayed against him, O king, Arjun then spoke the following words to Shri Krishna. Commentary: Here Sanjay addresses Arjun by another name, Kapidhwaj, which means monkey bannered. This denotes the presence of the mighty monkey god, Hanuman, on Arjun's chariot. It so happened that, once Arjun became very boastful of his archery skills and quipped at Shri Krishna. He said, I do not understand why during Lord Rama's time, the monkeys worked so hard to make a bridge from India to Lanka with heavy stones. If I was there, I would have made a bridge of arrows. The omniscient Lord asked him, All right, go ahead, show me your bridge. Very skillfully Arjun showered thousands of arrows and made a huge bridge. Now, it was time to test it. Shri Krishna called upon great Hanuman for the job. As soon as Hanuman started walking on the bridge, it started crumbling under his feet. Arjun realized his folly. His bridge of arrows could not have upheld the weight of Lord Rama's huge army. He asked for their forgiveness. Subsequently, Hanuman gave Arjun lessons on being humble and never be proud of his skills. He also granted Arjun a boon that, during the great war, he would seat himself on Arjun's chariot. Therefore, Arjun's chariot flag carried the insignia of the great Hanuman.
Arjuna uvacha senayorubhayormadhye ratham stapayamechyuta yavadetaniriksheham yodhukamanavasthitan कर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे.
Translation: Arjun said, O infallible one, please take my chariot to the middle of both armies, so that I may look at the warriors arrayed for battle, whom I must fight in this great combat. Commentary: Arjun was a skilled warrior, and the most powerful Hanuman was sitting on top of his magnificent chariot. Moreover, his devotion towards the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna was such that the Lord himself had agreed to be Arjun's charioteer. Here, Arjun was seated on the passenger seat giving instructions to Shri Krishna, his charioteer. He addresses the Lord as Achyuta, the most dependable one, and requests him to place the chariot in the middle of the battlefield.
योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेऽहम् य एतेऽत्र समागताः दार्त्रराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्ध्यै युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः.
Translation: I desire to see those who have come here to fight on the side of the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra, wishing to please him. Commentary: Arjun was fearless, the Supreme Lord was his charioteer. His outlook was that the Pandavas were legitimately entitled to half the kingdom of Hastinapur, but the wicked sons of Dhritarashtra, the Kauravas, had not agreed to share. Arjun was ready for battle, eager to get back what was rightfully theirs and punish them for all their past wrongdoings. His request for the chariot to be placed in the middle of the battlefield was to take a closer look at the Kaurava army. Arjun wanted to see all those who had taken the side of injustice. He wanted to punish them equally, as they had chosen to be on the wrong side. None of them would be spared.
Sanjaya uvacha evamukto rishikesho gudhakeshena bharata senayorubhayormadhye stapayitva rathottamam.
Translation: Sanjay said, O Dhritarashtra, having thus been addressed by Arjun, the conqueror of sleep, Shri Krishna then drew the magnificent chariot between the two armies. Commentary: Here, Dhritarashtra is being addressed as Bhrata by Sanjay, which means, O descendant of the great King Bharat.
Bhishmadrona pramukhatah sarvesham cha mahikshitam uvacha partha pashyetan samavetan kuruniti.
Translation: In the presence of Bhishma, Dronacharya, and all the other kings, Shri Krishna said, O Parth, behold these Kurus gathered here. Commentary: Shri Krishna called Arjun Parth, son of Pritha, another name for his mother Kunti. Then he pointed at all the warriors like Bhishma, Drona and other kings on the Kaurava side and deliberately used the word Kuru to address them. It was to remind Arjun that both Kauravas and Pandavas were all descendants of the great king Kuru. Therefore, the enemy he was so eager to kill was actually his own family and relatives. The omniscient Lord was sowing the seed of delusion in Arjun's mind, only to eliminate it later. He was preparing the ground for the gospel he was about to preach, the Bhagavad Gita, which would benefit the future generations in the age of Kali.
तत्रापश्य स्थितान् पार्थः पितॄनथ पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखिंस्तथा श्वशूरान् सुहृदंश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि.
Translation: There, Arjun could see stationed in both armies his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, cousins, sons, nephews, grandnephews, friends, fathers-in-law, and well-wishers.
तान् समीक्ष स कौन्तेय सर्वबन्धूनवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्ठो विषिदन्निदमब्रवीत्.
Translation: Seeing all his relatives present there, Arjun, the son of Kunti, was overwhelmed with compassion and with deep sorrow, spoke the following words. Commentary: Shri Krishna's words had the desired effect on Arjun. Looking at the armies on both sides of the battlefield, his heart sunk. They were all Kurus, his relatives. The brave warrior who wanted to punish the Kauravas for all their wickedness a few minutes back suddenly became fearful. Comprehending the devastation this war would cause, his valor started to diminish. Hence, Sanjay has called him Kaunteya, the son of Kunti, denoting that Arjun had become soft-hearted, similar to his mother. However, Arjun was now very confused and his mind filled with questions.
अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्ण योत्सुं समुपस्थितम् सिदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति.
Translation: Arjun said, O Krishna, seeing my own kinsmen arrayed for battle here and intent on killing each other, my limbs are giving way and my mouth is drying up. Commentary: Arjun realized that all the warriors on the battlefield ready to shed blood were none other than his own relatives, friends, and family. He was filled with remorse and fearful of performing his duty of fighting this war. The cause for these sentiments was his attachment towards his bodily relatives. He became forgetful of his spiritual existence, that he was not just the body. His affection for his bodily relatives had blinded his consciousness. In the materialistic concept, we consider ourselves to be only the body, which is emotionally attached to all its bodily relatives. As this attachment is based on ignorance, it carries with it the physical burdens of life like pain, sorrow, grief, and death. Only the death of the physical body can end these materialistic attachments. We are more than just the physical body, our eternal souls are beyond life and death. Tangled in the various attachments of the material world, we keep forgetting that the Supreme Lord is our only permanent relative. He is the father, mother, friend, master, and beloved of our soul.
वेपतुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डिवं स्रंसते हस्तात् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे.
Translation: My whole body shudders, my hair is standing on end. My bow is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning all over. My mind is in quandary and whirling in confusion. I am unable to hold myself steady any longer. O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon, I only see omens of misfortune. I do not foresee how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle. Commentary: Here Arjun has addressed Sri Krishna as Keshava, killer of a demon called Keshi. Yet, for Arjun the thought of killing his own relatives troubled him to such an extent that his body started to tremble. He was unable to even hold his magnificent bow, which could emit sounds that petrified even the most powerful enemies. Arjun had become so disillusioned that superstition started gripping him. He could only see bad omens indicating severe devastation. Thus, he felt it would be a sin to engage in such a battle.
न काङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण न च राज्यं सुखानि च किं नो राज्येन गोविन्द किं भोगे जीवितेन वा येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगसुखानि च त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च.
Translation: O Krishna, I do not desire victory, kingdom, or the happiness accruing to it. Of what avail will be a kingdom, pleasures, or even life itself, when the very persons for whom we covet them are standing before us for battle? Commentary: Taking away someone's life itself is immoral, and killing a relative is considered even more sinful. Arjun was in a dilemma. What would he gain with victory achieved by such a heinous act? It would not give him any joy, as he would have lost all the people who mattered to him. Detachment to worldly assets is a commendable virtue. Even though Arjun's thoughts were moral and virtuous, they were not spiritual sentiments. They were budding out of compassion and attachment towards his relatives. Spiritual sentiments bestow peace, harmony, and happiness to a soul. However, Arjun's situation was not such. He was disillusioned, confused, and losing control over his body and mind.
Next chapters will continue in new video. Meanwhile, if you like the video and the concept, please like and subscribe for such other videos.